It's the Sega Bit Swingin' Report Show. Get ready for Sega news and commentary with your hosts, George and Barry. Hello and welcome to episode 49 of the Sega Bit Swingin' Report Show. One more till 50, but until then, it's 49, which isn't as special, but we'll try to make it special. With me today is George.
Hello.
And I'm Barry. So let's go around and say what we've been up to and what we've been playing. George, you kick us off.
No. I started school again, so I've been busy with that. Actually, really busy. I have all my classes at 8 o'clock, and during summer, I was like terrible about waking up early. So now I have to like wake up every day like at least at like 7:30 because I gotta put my makeup on.
That's hard.
So it's hard. Now I wake up like 6:30 to put my makeup on. It takes at least an hour to put the face on. And
Right.
I've been not really playing games. Well, I've been having troubles with my computers since all my games are gone now because my hard drive died. So I have to re-download stuff on Steam, which is terrible. I barely,
That sucks.
I barely yesterday re-downloaded Company Heroes 2 because I've been working on the review for way too long. And then they gave me a 500 MB patch. So I don't know what the patch is about. It barely came out yesterday. And besides that, I've been playing like smaller games that like I already had backed up. Like I got addicted to League of Legends, which is a mistake. And I've been playing League of Legends online, and I've been playing Shadowrun Returns. I don't know if you've heard of it.
I've heard of that, yeah.
It's like a tabletop game. They funded it. The only issue I have with it is so low budget. Like I like the world and stuff, but too low budget. The game is way too low budget. I thought it was going to be a little more interactive.
Mm-hmm.
It's very old school, and that's about all I've been playing.
Huh. Well, I have been doing the usual stuff, going to work and stuff. I went to Minneapolis last week to visit family, and I went to Mall of America and went to their arcade, and it was a really awesome arcade they have. It's on the fourth floor. They've got a lot of Sega stuff, so I've been posting Instagram pics of that. Lots of racing games. They had this weird thing, and I had to look it up. It's like this enclosed cabinet made by a third party that is like they have a fence around it, and you get inside, and I guess it like moves 360 degrees and all crazy. And they had Initial D3 in that. I didn't get a chance to play it because we were in a hurry, but I know where it is now, and I'm going to be going back in October for a week, so hopefully I'll get to play it. But yeah, so I've been doing that. So I've been playing a lot of portable games. I'm still playing Project X Zone. I haven't played Animal Crossing since maybe 2 weeks ago. I feel bad, but it's just one of those games where it's like I feel guilty not playing it, but at the same time, I shouldn't feel guilty. You know what I mean? Like
You're mad. You're a little scared that all the people will forget about you in the town.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, because
Where have you been, Barry?
every time I pick it up,
Sorry, go on.
what?
I was
No,
gonna say.
well, I mean,
I told you to get my tape deck and you never got it. What's going on?
well, exactly. And I mean, every time I play it, I enjoy it, but I hate being punished for being gone. They're like, 6 people died since you left. I'd like to. I know they move away, but I like it better to think that they died when I was gone.
You don't want them to think they're living their life happily in another town.
Yeah.
I've never moved into a town and everybody's like, where has Ben? Ben hasn't been here in like 3 weeks. I'm moving out.
Yeah, I know.
So
Can you imagine? You go on vacation and then you get back and your neighbor's gone.
Yeah, they're like, you weren't here, dude. They left because of you.
Well, you have your own life, don't you? No.
They had to relocate to a low-income neighborhood because they couldn't afford better housing. All your fault. Anyway,
Oh,
but yeah.
so and yeah, that's about it. I'm actually, it's funny. I know there's tons of games out there that I could play, but whenever I see stuff coming down the line, like Lost World and the Sega stuff coming, I just kind of stop playing and wait for them. It's weird.
You hype yourself up, and then when you get here, you're like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna hype up myself up for the next SONiC game." You never played that one?
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, but actually, I just got a new glasses prescription. so I can see, crystal clear when I look at the TV. I had to play binary domains from about 4 feet away. I'd stand in front of the TV as I played it.
Oh, I know exactly how you feel. Like, everybody always asks me, like, why do you always play on your monitor? You have a TV, you can just play on your TV. I'm like, because I have an excuse to be close to the monitor, because I can't see shit.
Yeah. It's tough too because I can get really precise headshots when I'm playing standing close, but if I'm laying back on the couch, I can't get it. I can't play well enough. So
But yeah,
I'll typically,
I need to get a new prescription for glasses. I've been wanting to go and do it, but I always put it off.
yeah, you got to do it because I mean, I put it off for 4 years and I finally did it, and
How do you feel?
I feel so good. I feel like a new man.
That's good. I'm thinking of getting some pretty like. I'm not sure what kind of glasses. See, there's so
Yeah,
many styles available.
it's tough, man.
I know it's tough. It's tough.
First world problems,
First
man.
world problems.
So yeah, it's pretty much what I've been up to. Should we move on to Sega news?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Sega news. All right. First bit, we have Sega announces a new Sakura Wars game, and the fans aren't very pleased.
It's a web
Uh,
browser game.
you wrote
Yes.
this up.
Yeah, it's a web browser game apparently by what's that fucking company called? MOBA or no, not MOBA, but yeah, there you go. And apparently they're known for having really shitty web browser games or something, and they're like or free to play games.
Hmm.
And apparently they did this one for Final Fantasy where it was card based and it sucked really bad. So
Oh
people
man,
are expecting the worst because obviously Secure Wars is not as popular as Final Fantasy.
right.
So if Final Fantasy gets fucked over, Secure Wars is probably gonna get fucked over even more.
Hmm.
So I think it's Sega really doesn't know what to do with that franchise.
It's a great franchise. I've played what was it, the fifth one that came out on Wii, and people say that's not even the best one. So the fact that the one that's considered disappointing by the fans is is really good says a lot.
Yeah. So I don't know. People were saying that it's going to be a bad move, and I agree. I think it's the same thing with the way they did Shenmue, like Shenmue City or whatever.
Hmm.
What happened to that? Nobody talks about it no more. It died out.
No, yep, I think it closed down too.
Yeah, so it's not a really good idea to do this kind of stuff, especially with franchises that are not that popular. Final Fantasy makes sense. Sonic the Hedgehog, I guess it would make sense,
Hmm.
but not Secure Wars. That just needs another game. Just
Yeah,
satisfy the core fan base.
definitely.
So that's my view on that.
Oh, that's sad, sad. Well, let's move on to some good news. Sega Sammy's net income is up 400% from last year. So
So
this is something we can rub in people's faces when they say that the company's dead.
okay, so are they gonna make Shampoo 3 yet?
I hope they make Shampoo 3. I already had Shampoo 1 and 2 conditioner.
In the conditioner.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, they're doing good. I'm assuming that it's releasing less shit games and more games that are actually going to be promoted.
Hmm.
Who would
Hmm.
have known that if you actually promote your games, they'll sell? Um,
The pachinko machines went up, and looks like Company Heroes 2 sold really well. And there's still that legal debate going on, or that legal thing
yeah,
with
I guess they're taking them to court for pre-order bonus, pre-order money or whatever. So
THQ. Yeah.
yeah, THQ, which I feel bad for them because apparently they're like really like in debt, like really badly. So Sega's just
Right.
like adding fuel to the fire.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, if they're owed, they should just get paid their money and that's it. But they're going to be making so much money off of Relic. I think they're going to pay off the cost in like literally like probably in a couple years of what they
Yeah, that
invested.
was a smart buy. It's just the game's just coming out, and they didn't even have to put development costs into it, really.
Yeah, and then they're going to probably make another one. I'm assuming they're going to make a Warhammer game sometime soon.
That would be cool.
Because I mean, the
And
Dawn of War franchise sold a shitload of copies, and they said that when they were at THQ, they were working on Dawn of War 3. So
hmm
it just matter of time now.
I just think it's unfortunate that not that they're buying these companies, that some people are saying it's unfortunate, but I think it's unfortunate that I can't like talk to the fans of these franchises. It's like they're still off in their little world. They
Oh
they
yeah,
probably won't be coming to Sega fan sites unless they're also Sega fans, but it's unfortunate that there's this kind of split where it's the Sonic fans, the general Sega fans, and then there's these all these little pockets of like Company of Heroes and Total War, Football Manager, and I mean they are completely different franchises, so I guess I get that fact, but
It
it'd be
is
nice.
so it is weird, and it's also weird that like randomly, like that unboxing video that I posted,
Yeah, yeah,
like somebody sent it to me, and I'm like, Sega didn't even tweet this or anything about this shit. So I look
yeah,
at it, and it had like 40,000 views, and it was posted hours ago, and I'm like, where the fuck did all these people come from?
yeah,
And it's like Creative Assembly has their own, like, I guess, Twitter account and Facebook and stuff that they post their own stuff, and it's like that's weird.
yeah. I mean, it's like you go up, you visit Alaska for the first time, and you're seeing all these people, and you're like, we're Americans. I'm from,
Yeah.
we're all the same, but I've never. I feel like they're a part of the Sega, I guess, fan family at least because they have just as much a stake in it, the company now, as we do. But
Yeah.
we never interact with them. That's unfortunate because I kind of want to get to know the fans and see what learn more about the franchises because I'm posting news about them. But I mean, aside from playing them a little bit, I don't know anything about the history and the fan base and things like that.
Oh, I agree. And then I think that's why I liked when well, we'll talk about this later, but when they announced Football Manager Classic 2014 for Vita,
Hmm. Hmm.
there was this little thing where they said that they were really in talks with Hardlight Studios about the
Hmm.
mobile version, and I was like, well, at least they're talking to each other. I mean, I never really hear them talk about each other like they exist.
Hmm.
Yeah, Creative Assembly's never like, yeah, me and Sonic Team, we're just hanging out, drinking some beers.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's kind of like when Hell Yeah developers were talking to Sonic Team. Remember that?
Yeah, that was pretty cool too. But then
So
they went
I
out of
always,
business. Thank you, Sega.
yeah, that's unfortunate. But I did like that's why I appreciate when the All Stars Transformed DLC adds these characters that people claim, oh, they're not Sega, but they are. I mean, Sega owns them. They're releasing games and making money off of them, and I think that's one of the major things where I that's why I don't get into that whole, oh man, they're not Sega characters, because it just drives the fans away from actually interacting with the new company that owns their IP.
Oh, I agree.
It's like, if you were a Company of Heroes fan, would you want to talk to Sega fans who just bitch and moan about your franchise and say it's not Sega and it's not good and it's not what they wanted, you know? So
Yeah, I
anyway,
agree.
that's my end. I guess transitioning over to that, Sega wants to buy something else. At least it's a rumor. Sega Sammy is trying to buy Atlus's parent company.
Which means they'll own Atlas and they'll be able to do Persona games. But they're saying that it's like a $200 million right now, the bidding, and it's like, look at how much Relic costs them and how much units they sell per game, and you see
Yeah.
that like Persona, I don't even know if it even breaks a million copies sold.
Hmm.
So you're thinking like, is it worth it?
I don't
And
know.
probably not really worth the $200 million unless there's a lot more coming in. Unless they're gonna do something that we don't know.
Right.
Like, are they gonna get the anime studio and stuff and all that other stuff? And are they gonna be making animes? But they already have an animation studio that they don't really use.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, so I don't know. Like, it depends. I guess they know what they're doing. I mean, their profits are up, so they're doing something creative. But as much as I like Persona games, I don't know if they're worth that much money just to have Sega logo on them, so I could tell people, "See, guys, they make good games. Look, Persona."
Right. Right. And I mean, there's people saying that they could start. One of the reasons they might want to buy it is because they have such a great localization team.
Yeah.
Which I mean could be the case. I mean, maybe Sega of America is looking at all these Japanese titles and thinking, it'd be great if we could release these as niche titles, with a smaller pressing. And
Yeah.
maybe even could be that the Hatsune Miku is a test for moving forward. Because I would love it if these Japanese only games were translated and released, digitally, didn't get a box release, just so they could save money and not risk, going into the bargain bins, or at least doing limited pressings. That would be nice.
I wonder how their Alice's last game did. The Dragon Crown they just released recently.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Cause like I don't know, like people were saying like like people were telling me, have you played it? This is exactly what Golden Axe should be. This is what
Hmm.
the remake should be. And then I played it on the Vita. Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice game. I'm gonna have to admit, it's actually
I thought
very
you were gonna
nice.
say it sucks.
No, it's a good game. No, so I'm pretty excited to see if Sega ever like has a studio like the guys that made Dragon Crown and be all just make Golden Axe already. Because I mean, it's hard for to sell a game that nobody really cares about, like a new franchise like Dragon Crown. Nobody's ever heard of it. They don't know what to expect. But when you see Golden Axe and it's a 2D beat 'em up, they know right away, like from the Genesis days,
Right.
that this game is going to kick some ass. So they're going to buy it. So I'm
Yeah.
assuming it would sell more with a Golden Axe name than Dragon. I mean, I think that's something Sega could do.
Hmm.
Work with smaller developers and just use their brandings of old
They did.
franchises.
They did try that though, didn't they? In the about 5 years ago, we saw a lot of games getting that with Beast Rider and Alien Syndrome,
Oh yeah, but those
and
but
Altered Beast got a UK only release because the game was so bad of
yeah,
memory.
they suck though. I mean,
Yeah,
like Beast
that's
Rider
true. I
wasn't
mean,
that good.
get a good developer behind it, and they could definitely
Move
do
some
some good.
units. But
But
yeah, go on.
I don't
Oh,
know.
oh yeah, they're gonna buy Atlas. Have you played Persona games?
I have not.
Oh man, there's this there's this thing that online that they call Atlas fans fatless fans,
Yeah.
especially on 4chan. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess I do kind of agree with that because I've never really played Atlas games before. Like I've only started playing them a couple years ago, and I remember like when I was one time I was going to this class and there was this girl that had a Persona 4 T-shirt on, and
Hmm.
she I would say she was overweight, so I guess that name is kind of good stick on her. But
Yeah.
I played them and they're pretty interesting. Imagine an RPG, I guess like Sakura Wars, where like your relationships matter, and you talk to people and then you build up relationships, and so that's part of the game, and the other part is going into dungeons and like doing missions, but
Hmm.
with funny dialogue, kind of like Nintendo dialogue, where you play like Atlas. I mean, when you play Animal Crossing, and you're like, "Oh, that's pretty funny," like stuff they say.
Right.
So it's kind of like that, but it's pretty interesting. I don't know. It's pretty. I think everybody should at least give it a try.
Cool. Hmm.
But yeah,
Well,
Atlas is pretty interesting company, and I wouldn't mind them buying it, just not for too much that they'll be more in debt.
mhm.
But that's my take on Atlas buy.
Oh, we'll see what happens. Coming up next, we have Sega says they're ready for the next generation consoles, and there's concern over the Wii U sales. So
Ooh,
this was an interview with Sega's COO Jürgen Post, where
from
they talked to him about the future of the company, and I guess here's some things he said. He said the next gen console market is exciting, and we are following it closely. You know, kind of a lot of PR speak. We
yeah.
have a lot of PC studios, and in that sense, you might say we are very prepared. If, as many say, these next gen machines really are more like PCs than ever, then we have a lot to take advantage of in terms of technology. The PC base certainly makes it feel easier for us. I like that. If, as many say.
Yeah. Well, they are going to be PC based. I mean, we already know the architect and stuff, so pretty much Sega probably made a very good investment with those PC studios, since if they really wanted to make console games, they already have kind of like a bunch of people that could do ports at least.
Hmm.
So I mean, it'd be pretty cool. I mean, but I think one of them they said they were even thinking about doing an RTS game on PC. I don't like that way. I don't like that.
Yeah.
The issue with that is that they're never good. Like, have you ever played an RTS game on PC on console that you're like, man, this is amazing.
Yeah, I've tried. I mean, even going back to the Dreamcast days, I remember when they port PC games over and it didn't translate well unless you had the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah.
And
So
even then, they had games that didn't support the keyboard and mouse, which was kind of fucked up. So,
so I'm saying like if they're gonna bring games over, I hope they bring like they make games from the ground up from scratch, like Relic did Space Marine, and Creative Assembly. Their last one was Viking. Just
hmm.
make an action game and like, but like let them finish the goddamn action game. I'm not saying that I'm not saying that Space Marine wasn't finished.
Push notification.
But I'm saying that Viking wasn't a finished product. That shit was very not finished, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It was you could tell it needed some months of development time. But that's if you're gonna do that, do it that way.
Yeah, yeah.
And what
What
was the
else?
other? Oh yeah, Wii U sales. What do you think about that?
Well, he said the Wii U is a concern, but he's hoping that Sonic can help, which is kind of funny. This thought that Sonic's going to help the Wii U sell. Not that I don't think it could, but it's just that idea of Sonic helping Nintendo now. Um, but he said Lost World just might be our best Sonic game yet. It is one of the games that could help them. I saw Nintendo's briefing at E3, and it has a very strong lineup of games for the Wii U.
No,
I think it's helping people
I
think
think
that things might change.
I think what he wants is that there is no games, so like people would just have to pick up Sonic. They're like, oh, no
Yeah,
Mario, I'll just pick up Sonic then.
yeah.
But the Wii U, I feel bad for the Wii U. It's been kind of it's been a fucked up ride for Nintendo. Like, how are you gonna turn this shit around? Like, and they refuse to drop the price. So you're selling it at $350
Yeah,
with when people like could just pay $50 more and buy a
PS4.
PS4.
Yeah.
That's not a good position to be in.
No, I've thought about that. I mean, I definitely am gonna get one, but
Oh,
yeah,
me
that
too.
is that
But
$50 difference though. You're
it's like
right.
I'd rather just get a Blu-ray player and like so much more memory and all these other features that it has. Like that, even if you're not going to use them, it just doesn't make any sense.
Hmm.
Like Sony has already showed that they could do the UI is better, all this other stuff is better.
Hmm.
Just no need to be paying $350 for a Wii U.
No,
They should literally lower it to 250. I think that would be the sweet spot.
that would be crazy if they did. I'd hope they do, but I don't know if I can see that happening.
Would you buy one at 250?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, I think that's a good price for that
I was
console.
prepared to spend 300, and then I realized it's 350. I thought it was 300.
Yeah, I did too, and then I saw it, and I was like, three fucking 50. This is what they want for this.
Yeah, they stopped selling the basic model, and people were like, "Oh man, you don't want the basic model." I was being told, "No, you got to get the other one because it has
More.
Nintendo Land," and I was like, "I don't give a fuck about Nintendo Land. I'm
Oh,
not gonna
you
play it."
convinced me.
And then it
What
was
was it?
also the memory too, and I'm like, "That's not that console is not going to download games. Like, I'm not going to download games on it, really.
Yeah, nobody
I'm
wants to
not."
download games on it because they have a pretty crappy like return policy. Like if you break your console, apparently you can't
Hmm.
re-download your stuff like on Xbox and PS3.
That
And,
sucks.
and I'm just thinking to myself like, why would anybody have this if you can't tie it to an account? It doesn't tie it to your account; it ties to your console.
Hmm.
So all your stuff can only be downloaded on that console, and it's like that's terrible policy.
Yeah, that's stupid.
But I like Nintendo. It's just that they definitely need to work on the pricing. They were always pretty damn good about pricing. It's so weird that they kind of fucked up this time around.
Hmm.
It's that stupid tablet. I'm telling you, nobody cares about it.
No one cares. I didn't even care when I saw it. I do you remember when they revealed it? What were you thinking when you saw it?
I was thinking they made a fucking huge mistake. Like, first of all, naming was terrible. Like, just the first 5 seconds I saw it, I was like, all right, is this going to be an accessory for the Wii?
That's what I thought.
And no, and like apparently everybody thought the same thing because every time I go to anywhere, nobody's
Hmm.
playing the Wii U. Like, if you go to Target when it first came out, nobody even cared
Yeah,
because nobody knew it was supposed to be a new console.
yeah,
Because it looks the same. If you like literally just pass by, the graphics look the same. They were showing off new Mario Bros, which is basically a game that was really popular on the Wii. So why would
right.
anybody know that it's something different?
Yeah,
They have a
I don't know.
branding
Even
issue.
even the new Mario game. I mean, I really like Super Mario Land on or 3D Land on 3DS, but this one I'll play it and I definitely will get it. But I don't know. It's not like a day one game for me. It doesn't look that exciting, which is interesting because I think this year Sonic is releasing a better looking game on Wii U than Mario is, which is pretty hilarious.
Yeah, it is kind of funny. I think Nintendo also it's like weird. Like I've been watching their interviews on E3, and every interviewer like kind of haggles them about the price. It
Hmm.
was kind of the same thing. Like everybody was getting haggled besides Sony. I don't know why, but I
Hmm.
had like a few things I wanted to bitch at them about, but no interviewer did. But like Microsoft had the whole DRM thing, which they turned around and they all that shit
Hmm.
happened. And I think
Yeah.
that's great for consumers. I think they at least listen to you. They're like, okay, we're changing it. We're not fucking idiots.
Oh, definitely. I think more people need to be positive about that because I still see people going, yeah, well, what the fuck are they going to do? They're going to do another 180. I'm like, you know what? They've changed their policy. Shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah, they changed it. At least they're listening to you. Was it a stupid policy? Yes, they fired the fucking C. Well, they say he left the company, but let's
right,
be honest, he got
exactly.
fucking fired. They were like,
Yeah,
this is fucking retarded. They
yeah,
fired him. There's new people. Same thing happened with Sony when the PS3 launched. Only that instead of waiting 2 to 3 years like Sony did to change up the people,
yeah,
Microsoft went and did it right away
yeah,
before the console even launched. So, but Wii U, like when they were having interviews with them, they were asking about the price.
yeah.
Reggie's like, we have so many good games coming out that price would not matter. And I'm like,
Nah.
you guys are fucking retarded. Like, you guys could have 3 new Zelda games this whole year, which you don't, and
Hmm.
it probably wouldn't fucking matter because 350 is way too much.
A Wii U plus one game is a PS4.
Yeah,
A Wii U plus three games is an Xbox One, and even then, there's rumors that Xbox One's going to come with a free game.
yeah, which would really
So
help with the extra $100 price tag.
yeah, that would knock $60 off right there. So, and plus it comes with the headset. I forgot what else it comes with. But anyway, I mean,
They actually bundled it with the headset.
yeah, Xbox One comes
There
with a
was like a
headset
big
now.
news story about how they weren't going to do it, and I was like, that's the worst mistake they could do because like one of
Yeah,
the
they
things
snuck it in.
gone.
No, they snuck it in. It's back.
Good, because that was I think one of the best ideas the 360 had,
Yeah,
bundling it with a headset. Because every time you get in the game, everybody could talk.
yeah. I mean, not to talk too much about the next gen consoles, but at this point, I'm pretty even with both Xbox One and PlayStation 4. I don't hate either one now. I'm impressed with each one in different areas, and I don't know. I was saying this. I don't know if I was saying this on the boards. Maybe I was tweeting it, but I'm finding myself caring less and less like emotionally about consoles now. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I don't watch the things and go, "Oh fuck, yes. Microsoft just nailed that one. Oh man, 50 developers. Oh, like I don't feel that anymore. I'm just like, "Oh, cool."
yeah, it's cool. But Sega announced a new console, and they're like, yeah, we have 3 developers. Oh man, AM2 is one of the developers.
Yeah.
Megaton.
I guess it's just that I don't know. I'm not so much a fanboy of those as I am of Sega.
Oh yeah,
But
understandably. I think the thing that didn't light our fire too was that there was no Sega Next Generation games.
yeah,
And it,
well, we'll get to that. There might be.
there might be, but that's what I'm saying. Like you're sitting there and you're like, what console are you gonna buy? Which one has Virtua Fighter 6? None. Remember Virtua Fighter 5 kind of determined. I waited it out, but I really wanted a PlayStation 3 though, even though it was like
Hmm.
$600
Hmm.
because of Virtua Fighter. And then it was announced for Xbox 360, and I was like, well, I could afford a 360, so I bought a 360. That's why I bought a 360.
Yeah, yeah. I bought a 360 because it was cheaper at the time used than the PlayStation 3.
Yeah, and they had a superior Virtua Fighter, so that's why I got it.
Yeah. So, and they were pretty even then. I mean, 2009 was when I bought my 360. So there wasn't too much in terms of there was a lot of games that were cross-platform, so I didn't really care. But should we start talking about? Oh, I guess we have to mention Football Manager Classic 2014.
Oh yeah, they're making it for the PlayStation Vita. Basically, Classic is a mode in the PC version that it's just like a sped up version of the actual simulator, I guess.
Uh-huh.
But it's supposed to make it go faster, so you'll get, I guess everything just moves on faster. So I guess it makes sense on a portable platform.
Hmm.
But everything in the game will is from the PC game will be in it, like all the teams, all the scouts, the new 3D engine they're showing off. So it's like gonna have an actual 3D engine in it, unlike the PSP game that before.
Hmm.
So yeah, I guess there's some stuff to get excited about if you're into Football Manager.
And
Not
you
me.
said they were speaking with Hardlight to perfect the
Well,
mobile.
yeah, they apparently they turned them on to another developer called Rock something, another
Hmm.
mobile developer, and I guess they're doing it with Sports Interactive, like
Huh.
the Vita version. So that's pretty cool. I was kind of hoping Hardlight had a little more development, but I'm assuming, according to another Sega site, they're developing another title.
Hmm.
So we'll see.
Yeah, it's cool. So we're
Upcoming
changing
games.
it. Yeah, upcoming games. We're changing it up a little bit instead of reporting on every single news story because there's about 30 Sonic Lost World ones. We just talk generally about the game right now.
So
So yeah, let's start with Sonic Lost World. The big news that came out actually today was that Sonic Lost World. Was it today or yesterday? It almost feels like it was.
3 months ago.
I know. Sonic Lost World's getting a
Nights.
Deadly Six bonus edition, which is going to have additional content of six boss battles with classic Nights into Dreams um, creatures or bosses. So yeah, what do you think of that?
Terrible idea.
I know the
No,
game looks like garbage.
that's a good idea. I think I like the idea. I like that. There's always, since I guess Dreamcast, there's always been a little throwback to Knights in their games.
Hmm.
There was a casino, and then like Generations had a casino pre-order bonus.
Yeah.
And I guess this one's gonna have the Knight bosses as a pre-order bonus. I guess.
Hmm.
I like it. I think it's a great idea because they're kind of. I hope that's like a motif for Sonic games. Every time you buy it early, you'll get something from Knights.
Hmm. Hmm.
So kind of like, I guess there's gonna be a generation of gamers are all Knights. What's that? Is, oh, you mean that pre-order stuff they give you with those Sonic games? Um,
Right.
I like it. I think that's pretty cool. So I'm actually pretty excited for that. But I don't have a Wii U, so I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna be able to play it.
It makes sense given that Journey of Dreams was a Wii exclusive game, so they are targeting the right audience. A lot of people will who move from Wii to Wii U will surely remember. They probably won't remember the original Nights, which I'm thankful these are all coming from. It's not Journey of Dreams characters, but yeah, it definitely looks cool. It was completely unexpected. I never would have thought they would have done this. So.
Yeah, it was really out of left field. I don't think there was any rumors or anything. Yeah, there was.
The Yeah, the Nights into Dreams website, fan website, people didn't even know about it. So,
Yeah, they seem pretty happy about it.
uh, yeah, so that I'm definitely excited. From what at least from what I'm speculating, is that this is going to be something that is basically just like the transformed bonus versions. This is the original. The first pressing is going to have these codes, and should the game have additional printings, they're not going to include them. Um, I noticed
Okay,
that. Yeah, so
first
if
come,
you
first serve.
Yeah, and like when you look at All Stars Racing Transformed, you still see the bonus edition. In fact, I don't even know if a non-bonus limited edition exists. I've gone to stores and I've never seen it.
So you don't be. It's probably just a. See, Sega should like do very low print runs of the first edition. Like,
Yeah.
I think there was this. I think there was that video. I think I told you I posted before where they were showing off the collector's edition of Total War 2. And they
Hmm.
said that it was only going to have 22,000 copies. See, now that makes it more enticing. Like, oh,
That's cool.
only 22,000 people will have it. Well, I want to be one of those, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what they should
I
have
mean,
done with Sonic, I think. They should have just made it a $100 bundle, come with like some goodies for the Sonic fans, make it worth the cash. And I
yeah.
think they would have sold the more. I mean, they should have made 20,000 units. That thing would have sold out quick.
I think at least with this, you it's better to buy it new because if you buy it used, people might have used the code
Yeah.
or sold the code. So I've it's very rare, but I mean, I've seen used copies of All Stars Racing Transformed and it still had the code slip in there. I don't know if they've used it or not, but I like this incentive, and I've noticed too that with the previous one, with Transformed, they put like really cool fan service things in there, like Metal Sonic, and especially the oh, what was that? The day not Daytona USA, the Outrun track. So if this becomes a thing they do moving forward, I think we can expect to see really cool fan service things
I'm
as
ass- I'm
pre-order bonuses.
I'm assuming this is Sega's version of the online pass. I mean, I'm not trying to be like, oh, it's the same shit, but EA did try to do something like this, where like if you bought a game new, you would get extra content.
Hmm.
Like I think Battlefield Bad Company 2 did it, and that God of War ripoff, Dante's Inferno.
Hmm.
They would call it special edition, and then like you would get like extra content for the first pressing.
Yeah.
And it's basically the idea that you buy it, and if you buy it new, you get the extra content. If you buy it used and somebody used the content, you had to
Hmm.
pay for a DLC on the internet. So they get $10 out of your pocket or $5 out of your pocket no matter what.
Right.
Like
Right.
so that's I mean, but it's not as shady as an online pass where you can't go online. That's they let you do all that stuff, but to have that little extra content, you pay. So I
Hmm.
don't think it's as grimy. It's still a
Yeah.
little like whatever, I guess. But yeah, I think everybody's getting a little sick and tired of all this like nickel and diming on gaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think this is probably the best way to do it.
I definitely agree. They've also revealed, I mean, there's so much that's been revealed between when we had our last show and this one, but I think some of the big ones are a lot of stages have been revealed. There's a snow level, there's a desert level that's been expanded. We've also learned more about two-player mode, multiplayer mode, so you can race friends, um, but not online, which is unfortunate. Uh, I think it's the map screens are really interesting. They have these hexadecimal kind of like it's just like with Sonic Colors, where you move across a little board to the stages, which in turn's a lot like Mario.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it will help in because we've seen stages where it's like one stage it's Candyland, and then the next stage it's like a forest, and yet they're all within the same zone. So I think these map screens will definitely help make sense of that. So maybe we'll see like actual candy seeping into something unrelated, and it actually makes sense why you're seeing it on the map screen. If that
Oh,
makes sense.
yeah, yeah, it makes sense. Well, to
Yeah.
me, in my distorted mind, it makes sense. Maybe not to the
Yeah.
listeners.
Yeah, you'd
Um,
have to look at the maps, but yeah, I mean, I think the map is going to definitely help how crazy and mixed up the stages are. Like you have a casino within Frozen Factory, but there's nothing frozen about the casino itself.
yeah, it should be in. It's gonna be an interesting. It's gonna be an interesting game. A lot of people I've been talking to, they've been playing it. They've been giving me. I've been hearing two different feedbacks. I've been hearing that the controls are great, and I've been hearing that the
Hmm.
controls are not that great. And I'm like, God
Hmm.
damn it! This is gonna be one of those things we're gonna have to wait it out till it comes out, or unless we get our hands on it.
Yeah, yeah,
But and it's funny because I think everybody on the site that writes for it has probably played the game besides me and you.
yeah. Isn't that funny?
Knuckles has played it. Shigs has played it. I think Tim from Sonic Retro has played it, and I
Hmm.
think somebody else from Sonic Retro. They were both talking about the controls, and
Yeah.
I'm just thinking to myself, man, this is fucking bullshit, dude. No, we have to play. What the fuck? We're the ones that we do the podcast and we don't even play it.
I know. We could lie. We could
We
just
could lie.
erase this
The
bit.
controls fucking sucked, and then you be the
So bad. I felt like I was playing Mario.
it's Sonic 06 all over again.
No. But I mean, maybe it just takes time getting used to them because I remember when I first played Sonic Unleashed on the 360, it was insane like moving from Sonic Adventure mentality to that. You know what I mean?
Oh, I agree 100% because I remember my Unleashed review. I said, yeah, I know everybody's like really happy that it's fast, but I wish it was slower. Like I thought it was too fast,
Hmm.
which is weird because the review I made for Sonic 06, it's too slow. So I don't know. They have to find a balance, and it seems they finally found that balance in this one,
Yeah.
where you could explore and you could go fast. That's something we
Hmm.
always talk about in Sonic games. It's like you go too fast, you don't really get to appreciate the level design
Yeah.
because you're just zooming
Yeah.
through it as fast as possible.
I do wonder what it feels like to play a Sonic game where the triggers are what makes him move faster.
Yeah, it's gonna take some time to adjust for sure.
It's like going to be playing a racing game almost, where you have two gas pedals, where it's like gas and then super gas.
That's true.
Yeah,
That would have worked on Dreamcast too. I'm surprised they should have just did that in Adventure.
that would have worked. That would have been cool. But I mean, I prefer. I'll be honest. I prefer that to the boost
Yeah.
because holding down a button for like three-quarters of the stage isn't as I don't know. And then you got to move it to jump. You got to move your thumb to jump. So at least they took the any running off of the buttons and moved it to the triggers. I think that makes a lot more sense.
I know that Sonic had a really shit time last generations, but it looks like they're doing okay this generation. I think everybody's a little more excited seeing what the next game after this is going to be. I mean, for the next gen consoles.
Definitely.
Because I mean, Wii U. I mean, I would technically put it in the same category as PS3 and 360 in terms of.
Yeah, like a point 0.5 between the like a PlayStation 3.5.
Would you even consider it? I mean, would you consider the Dreamcast an actual PS2's Xbox era console, or would you consider it also a point 0.5 thing? Or
Yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting one because I think I didn't like playing PlayStation 2. I saw things that Dreamcast did better, like the anti-aliasing
yeah,
looked a lot better on the Dreamcast,
but
but
I mean, have you noticed PS2 games like they always have this like fucking I don't know. I always try to tell people about it. Nobody fucking notices it. But there's like this weird like the way everything looks at 3D graphics. It looks like there's like something on it, like a mat or it looks weird. Like look at the
like
graph. It doesn't look clean.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what I'm talking about.
I felt like there was a haze.
There you go. Exactly. Like it's
Yeah.
weird. I'm like, what? Dreamcast games look sharper than this shit. And
It's so yeah, it's hard to say. I think PlayStation 2 and Dreamcast I can relate to those have those two relate to each other a little bit more, but once you start moving into Xbox,
yeah,
like
Xbox was
Xbox
next
felt
level shit.
like that felt like a generation beyond the Dreamcast, definitely. I mean, playing Jet Set Radio, when I played PlayStation 2 games, I was like, what the fuck? I could play this on Dreamcast, but when I played Xbox games, there was no way that Dreamcast could handle like Jet Set Radio Future, Panzer Dragoon Orta.
I agree 100% with that. And the all uh yeah, and also the Dreamcast did stuff that Wii U. Okay, Wii U puts a tablet. Oh, that's cute. But like at least
Hmm.
the Dreamcast already had like the internet. They had their DLC. They had all this other stuff that nobody was doing at the time. The
Yeah.
Fantasy Star Online, the online game.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I would consider that to be the same era.
In Dreamcast, I think they utilized the modem a lot more than PlayStation 2, Xbox, and GameCube combined, even. I feel
Yeah.
like there's more names that I can rattle off. Xbox maybe had some like PC kind of games.
Well,
Was
you,
Halo 2 online?
Halo 2 was online, Halo 3 was online. Yeah, I remember Halo 2 being online. That was like probably the most online game I played during that era. Like after Dreamcast. During Dreamcast, the number one game I played online was Quake 3. So it's weird, right? Oh, and Fantasy Star Online. I always forget that one.
I bought Quake 3 probably last year. It's unfortunate I can't play it online now.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. I remember I also played the football games, not because I was a football fan, but because Sega published the games, obviously.
Hmm.
But
Any other thoughts on Sonic Lost World?
uh, I wish there was a PC version. Does that count?
Well, I was looking at the one of the things Azuka said was that they were developing it on PC, and when he claims that when they were looking for a platform that would be perfect, they chose Nintendo, which goes against the. I thought it was interesting. It goes against the whole news story where it said Nintendo signed an exclusive deal. You know, I almost
Yeah,
thought Nintendo came to them and said, "Guys, we need some first party, or we need some exclusive games from you."
yeah,
So I don't know.
exactly.
I like Azuka, but I don't trust him when he speaks half the time because he says those things. Like, didn't he say that the 3DS version of Generations would have Game Gear levels remade?
Yeah,
And and then when they talked about even Lost World, he was saying, "Oh no, we weren't even thinking of Sonic Extreme." And yet you look at Lost World's first level, and they use the same flowers that Extreme did.
Yeah, I know. I think there's this thing where he's like not really as hands-on as people think. I think Sega just has him as a face for for
Yeah.
media. Because honestly, I don't think he even knows what's going on in the games. Like, so I read some interviews and I'm like, this dude is either really, really fucking drunk
Hmm.
or he doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Because like though everybody fans will prove him wrong and he like it just keeps on going this circle. It's almost becoming a meme.
Yeah. Do you think he
So
got incredibly drunk and then broke into the offices and was like, "We're making Knights 3," and they're
we're
like,
making
"No, we're
Knights
making
3.
Sonic Knights 3, Knights 3," and they're like, "All right, we'll make Knights 3," and then someone else came in, they're like, "What the fuck are you doing? Izuka wants to make Knights 3." No, you're making Sonic Lost World, and they're like, "Well, what do we do with all this Knights content?"
DLC.
DLC, Sonic Dreams.
Sonic dreams about dreams. Into dreams.
They put him down. So
That's the end.
poor Izuka. So yeah, I definitely I think the when we were first looking at the game, it looked very like I know a certain somebody was saying that the game looked like it was childish,
Who
and
said this?
Sega Uranus.
Oh yeah.
He's not a fan of the game. He says he doesn't hate it, but he says a lot of negative things about it.
It's funny
Now,
because we have some of the fan base who are like be really excited about a game or automatically fucking despise the game because of one little
mhm,
fucking item. Like, oh, look at the
mhm.
way that guy's fucking Finch clinches. Oh, I can't buy this fucking game.
I'd say it's more cartoony and less realistic than some of the previous games.
It's trying to find its art style, I think.
But yeah, I think they're trying to find its art style, and to be honest, I don't see that much difference from it when compared to Sonic Colors, which, I mean, I don't think cartoons are childish. I think there are childish cartoons like Dora the Explorer where they're talking directly to the audience slowly and being like, "Do you know what a cabeza is?"
What's that? Oh,
It's
that's
your
head.
head.
That's head.
Yeah. See, I'm teaching you.
Yeah.
And Sonic Sonic Lost World definitely is one of the more cartoony ones, but at the same time, I think there's some great animation, and I can appreciate those things. Now, if the content is childish, I'm not seeing it. Um, I do see that they've made the Badniks appear a little more animated and kind of toy-like, but looking at the high-res pictures, they seem a lot more like when you have like a classic car and you give it that like sparkly paint job. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah, I know
about?
what you're talking about.
Because I'm looking at some of the bigger bosses, and it's not so much that they're toys; it's more like they're kind of snazzing them up. So instead of just having a flat red metallic glow, it's more of like they're giving the texture to the metal, which I think is kind of cool. It's going to be really interesting to play the game in 1080p.
Oh, I'm glad about that. I'm glad
And
the Wii U could do that.
have you seen the 60 frames per second videos yet?
Nuh-uh.
I found one. I'll have to dig it up and I'll maybe post it on the forums tomorrow. But it is like I typically don't
Call
go
things
crazy for
gorgeous.
60 frames, but it's crazy to see a Sonic game at 60 frames per second.
I'm all advocate for next generation, all games being 60 frames per second. I don't think there's an excuse anymore. I mean, especially with the new hardware. I'd rather
Hmm.
have crappier graphics, like I mean, or cartoon graphics. I
Hmm.
As long as it's 60 frames per second, I think it makes that much of a difference to me. Like I think if they let's say they were trying to go for a realistic, I don't know why they would for a fucking Sonic game, but let's say they went for a realistic look on Sonic for 30 frames. I'd rather them take stuff off the game so they can make it 60 frames per second. I think it makes that much of a difference to me. I don't know.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, especially for a game that moves fast or like first-person shooter games, I think it
Yeah.
makes a difference. So if it was an RPG like Final Fantasy, I wouldn't care. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I think I want to see that video. So whenever you find it, post it on the forums.
Yeah, definitely. I do think games that are more cinematic play better at 30 frames per second. At least I think they look more like a movie that you're playing.
Yeah.
So that's the one time, but like with this game, it definitely looks really cool in 60 frames per second. So yeah, maybe we can even post that with this when it goes up. But yeah, I mean, overall, there's lots of surprises. So given that they've just been showing some really cool stages and they have these bosses and we haven't even seen maybe the latter half of the game. I think it's going to be a really interesting game. Definitely.
How interesting though.
Good,
Good
interesting.
game. Good. Can
Let's
you
see. We
imagine
have
though, like from
what?
2006 to 2013, would you really think that in like what 7 years?
Hmm.
Wait, it's longer than that. No, no, that's right, right? 7 years. Um, for some reason I want to say a decade, but then I'm like, 'cause I'm always like that. I'm like, oh, it's been like 5 years, and they're like, no, it's been 10 years.
Yeah,
So I always had to catch myself. But yeah, like Sonic's like really improved. Like how many other franchises have improved so much in like like only what 6 7 years? Like
yeah, none that I can think of.
maybe Rayman, but like Rayman was never terrible. They just never really made games of it. But
Yeah,
like Crash Bandicoot, what the fuck is he at?
yeah. Or Spyro is now a toy line.
Yeah, now he's a toy line. At least Sonic is what Sonic was always meant to be.
Hmm.
And so yeah, I like it. And he was in Wreck-It Ralph, didn't I mean helped a lot.
Oh yeah, that was cool. Did you see? You saw that movie? Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that movie.
it's good.
I was a little disappointed though because I wanted to be more video game related, and it was more like a cliche kind of like Disney storyline, but with video
Yeah,
games in it.
yeah,
See, I wanted it to be more about video games, but that's always me though.
yeah.
That's gonna be us all the time.
They'll make one for you. Don't worry.
Just about Sonic, like, who's this fucking guy with big hands? I don't care. Show more Sonic and House of the Dead zombies.
Were you the guy at the 10 a.m. showing on like Saturday with all the kids there, and you were like, "Put Sonic on."
No, I wish I didn't see it in the cinema. I saw it in my house.
Hey, you guys, are you street passing?
Are you? He's like, hey, you kids, keep it down. I'm trying to listen to the complex storyline. And
Oh,
there was a bunch of people in one of my art classes that were like talking about the movie, and I'm like, really? So weird. They were talking about the retro game aspect of it because they were like older dudes. Like some of them were like one of them was 40, and he was talking about how he used to play retro games and stuff. So it reminded him of that when he was a
hmm.
kid. So that's interesting that like parents would actually like the movie with their kids.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
they chose the right franchises, I think.
Oh, definitely. Let's see. We got Castle of Illusion starring Mickey Mouse. Uh,
Oh no,
with yeah, no,
no. Oh, we
no,
talk about Disney Infinity, another toy
yeah,
line.
no. We're talking about DuckTales.
Oh, okay. I heard it. I didn't get that great review scores I saw.
It's getting like 7 out of 10s, which isn't horrible, but
No,
it's definitely when people say it's like one of the best platformers ever on the NES. I guess one of the major complaints is that the cinematics really get in the way of the game. Like Scrooge will be like, "Oh, walking through this forest is pretty scary. I'd better go and pick up a gem. Oh, I just picked up a gem. Hello, Launchpad. Hey, Mr. McD." And it's like,
so they probably played Uncharted and they're like, "This is what this fucking game needs."
yeah. And it's not so much him talking as you play, but it's more like he'll stop and he'll, like, the text will come up and then you'll keep playing. Which
That's
is
annoying.
why I brought that up is there's a 15-minute Castle of Illusion gameplay video up, and it looks really good. And what I was especially impressed by is that as you play the game, Mickey will comment on things from time to time. He's like, "Oh, look at that," but he won't like stop and talk, and you have
Yeah,
to sit through a scene. And there's some really cool touches, like you'll be playing the first stage, and in the background you'll see where the boss is going to be, and then you keep playing, and then you end up circling around to where the boss finally is, and he's like awake finally. He was like sleeping earlier. Uh,
that's pretty cool.
but yeah, I don't know if you've watched it, but
I
there's a
haven't.
really cool ghost stage. You go up into the clouds, but then you fall back in. It's like two stages, but once you fall from the clouds, you go back into the ghost stage again.
Is Capcom developing the other one or just publishing it?
I think Capcom's just publishing. I think Way Forward did DuckTales.
I'm surprised they did a not a amazing job because WayForward is actually pretty damn good at what they do. 2D
Yeah.
games. I'm surprised how well Sega is like taking this I guess remake. Well, it is a
Hmm.
remake from like the Castle of Illusions. Usually Sega's the ones like let's just pour the Genesis game with a menu on it.
Yeah.
And this time they're like ground up. I wish they would take this kind of care and love with their other franchises. Like, I wouldn't mind them like redoing Knight's graphics or anything, and then have the original version
Yeah,
with it.
yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
I'm impressed by the fact that it's completely 3D. Now I know, I mean, at least on the internet, it seems like a lot more people are paying attention to DuckTales, which I guess makes sense because there's that whole 80s aesthetic to it because it's based on the cartoon show. Um, but I don't know. I mean, it's just 2D sprites on top of very simple looking 3D backgrounds. But the Castle of Illusion's completely 3D. It looks like they're doing a really great job on the animation. So it's going to be interesting. I think it might be I think it might be the better of the two Disney re-releases, even though DuckTales is getting a lot more mention.
Oh man, I there's some breaking news on the internet. I don't know if you want me to say it. It has nothing to do with Sega, but I think you'll get pissed off about this.
Why?
They announced the new Batman.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, according to Variety, I don't even know how to say the site's name, but
Ben Affleck. Nuh-uh.
yeah, Ben Affleck. Yeah,
That's fucked up.
yeah, the Daredevil is back. Um,
But he's Daredevil. He can't be Batman.
I agree. Anyway, back to fucking Castle of Illusion.
Oh man.
Sorry to dampen your evening.
Let's see. I just want to look at a picture of him side by side. I don't know. He could be good, but
I'm gonna be honest with you. There was a lot more wrong with Daredevil than just Ben Affleck. So, and he's a good director. I'm hoping that he says, "I'm not gonna fuck this up for you guys." But I didn't think Christian Bale was that great of a Batman either. But
hmm.
because I mean, nobody watched those movies for Christian Bale's fucking voice.
Yeah, yeah.
So we'll see. But
Okay. Well, back
Castle of
to
Illusions, Castle of
yeah.
Illusions.
So,
They're not gonna have any gimmick with the move control or any of that shit, right?
no, no gimmicks.
Good.
They,
I know how you know how I feel about them motion controls.
you hate motion
I'm sitting here right now with a move control in my hand, swinging it around. You know how
in
I
your
feel
wheel
about.
in your wheelchair, trying to play over your giant gut, and you're like,
Yeah.
I hate motion.
Trying to shoot zombies. That's the only thing that I like the move control for is shooting zombies. That's about it.
Oh
Playing House
yeah,
of the Dead. That's about it.
yeah. I mean, the Wiimote. It's the only thing I like about it really is that you can play tons of Sega Light gun games on the Wii.
Yeah, that's the only thing I do with it. Honestly, I think if they really wanted to sell more move controls, force Sony should force Sega to port every single light gun game they've ever created.
That would be great.
They
I'd
like
buy
go to
six.
they go over there and they hold a gun to their head. The president said, they're like, "Do it or I'll shoot you." That's it. That's all you need to do. Nobody says no to a gun.
Hmm.
Are you gonna pre-order? Oh yeah, I think this is bullshit, but well, I hate exclusivity kind of crap, but
Yeah.
PSN is gonna if you pre-order on PSN, you get the original for free, some like Avatar and like other crap. Are you gonna pre-order it?
Well, I don't have a PlayStation 3, so I can't.
Oh,
But what I don't get about this is that it clearly shows that they have the rights to release the original game. So I'm really hoping that this doesn't mean the original game will only be released as a pre-order exclusive on PlayStation Network.
that was probably one of the best ideas they've had, like the pre-order bonus, because it's technically two games in one. You're gonna buy it anyway.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go down in price anytime soon. So I think they should have put it on Xbox and PC and everything. I don't know why they made it exclusive, but some money going on there, I'm assuming.
Hmm.
But yeah, I guess you could pre-order it now on PlayStation if you want, and you could download right away the first Castle of Illusions on Genesis.
Huh.
It's pretty interesting, I guess, deal, but they should have been for all platforms, honestly. They did something similar with Renegade Ops.
Right, right.
But you just get free wallpapers and stupid shit. But like, if you pre-ordered like two games that were coming out the same day, like it was Renegade Ops and like I think Hell Yeah or some other game like that, you would get it was like Blood Rain or whatever. You would get another PSN game that hasn't came out for free.
Hmm.
So it's kind of like you pre-order two and you get the third one free or something. That's not a bad idea. I like those kind of deals, but I'm just surprised that publishers make it exclusive to one platform.
Yeah, I'm hoping it comes out later to all of them. I was really hoping that the Genesis version was going to be unlockable in the game itself.
And it seems like that's not going to be the
Mm-mm.
unless you just unlock it. That's like the pre-order bonus. You unlock it without playing it.
That would be pretty funny.
So, yeah, and oh yeah, we have one more thing to talk about, I guess, right?
Yeah, yeah. What do you? It's Yakuza Ishin.
Which means
Ishin?
restoration or resurrection, one of those two. Some sites have been saying resurrection. The guy from Yakuza fan says it's restoration.
So what is this all about?
Um, basically, they're taking the game back again to the Edo period, like around when Japan was being modernized by the West, and you play as a real life historical figure. But obviously, historical figures are going to be like modeled after Yakuza characters. So Kazuma Kiryu is supposed to play. Let me see his name. Sakamoto. How do you say his name? Royoma? I don't
Ray
even know.
Romano.
Ray Romano is gonna play him. He's playing Ray
Yeah.
Romano. It's basically some guy that like try to make his own political party and change Japan.
Hmm.
So in like he tried to make it so we could stop Western. They go stop Western influences, and so he the one of the groups is one of the loyal groups to the shogunate. They're gonna be the bad guys. It's supposed to take place. It's supposed to be kind of like a Kenzen like sequel, I guess, back in time side game.
Uh-huh.
And they said that there's gonna be other characters from the game. Like I think they did like a poll asking fans which their favorite characters were, and they said they got 1.7 million votes. And Goro Magami got the number one spot, obviously. The crazy dude with the eye patch. So
Hmm.
they said that he's going to be in the game and other characters are going to be in the game, but they're going to play different people in history. So they're going to be slightly different with the look. But they said there's still going to be like it's not even though it takes place in history, it's not going to be
Yeah.
historically accurate. It's going to be obviously
Okay.
oversaturated, kind of like Assassin's Creed, where
Right,
like it
right.
takes place in history, but it's like their own tale. So this is basically the Japanese version of Assassin's Creed. It seems like. It looks interesting. They haven't revealed gameplay details. They haven't revealed the platform. But there's been rumors that there's going to be a PlayStation Vita title. I don't think this is the
Hmm.
Vita one, but people are saying it looks too good to be on PS4, 3. Honestly, it looks
Yeah.
like a PS3 game, but uh,
Now, are
they.
giant enemy crabs going to be in it?
Hmm, I don't know. I would buy it if it had giant enemy
It's
crabs.
it's going to be old time Japan, so you got to have giant enemy
Well,
crabs.
I heard that they're everywhere, so I'm assuming so.
Nice.
They're going to be historically accurate. Um,
Definitely. I hope.
so there's rumors. Apparently can't be on PS3 because Nagashi said that Yakuza 5 is going to be the last PS3 game he's working on. So
Hmm.
it has to either be on Vita, PS4, or maybe even Xbox One. I mean, it would be cool if it was a cross-platform game, but
Yeah, that'd be nice.
honestly, I mean, at the time, well, I mean, it's a side game. It doesn't really matter what the story is. So yeah, I don't know. Why can't it not be? Maybe even on Wii U. I mean, who cares?
Yeah.
They already released the 1 and 2 on Wii U, and this one doesn't have anything to do with the other games.
Well, the one and two didn't sell that well, though, did
Oh
they?
yeah, I know it didn't sell well, but I mean, this one has better graphics, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
But
So, I mean, it probably won't come west, but
yeah, it probably won't come west. That's true. Because we haven't even got 5, so
I still say they should have never released the zombie one here and just released five.
I agree
Save that
100% with
money.
you. I
Yeah.
agree 100% with you. I'm surprised that the zombie one came out.
Yeah.
I played it and I rated it and everything. It's just it was Yakuza just like broken.
Yeah.
Like everything felt like, oh man, this would have been way better. I could just punch these things in the face. Like the gun gameplay wasn't that great. It got good when you got used to it, but it's kind of like when you play those PlayStation 1 or like Saturn games where the
Hmm.
controls weren't good, but you got used to it, so you didn't it didn't bother you that much after a while. Like I'm trying to think of a game like Quake 3 on Dreamcast. Even though you didn't have the two joysticks, it would have been a lot easier with two joysticks or a keyboard and mouse. But
Right,
you got
right.
used to it with your D-pad anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, playing it with a pad. That's kind of how it reminded me of playing that game. Where like it could have been better, but since I got used to it, it's okay. I kind of like went around your troublesome controls.
Yeah.
It's like a bad relationship, dude.
Sounds
And
good.
that's the last topic on this.
Well, we do have one Twitter question.
Oh no.
It's from Aki. He wants to know what shampoo you use to keep your hair looking silky smooth.
Oh man, this is too personal of a topic, but herbal essence. I use three type of shampoos.
Wow.
So two different smells of herbal essence, and I use fucking what's that thing called, the the shampoo for the so you won't get dandruff. Head and
Oh,
Shoulders. I use Head and
yeah, yeah.
Shoulders too, just
As
in
long as you're
case.
not using Selsun Blue.
No, I'm not using. No, why would I use that?
That stuff like stains your
Scalp?
tub.
Well, you're what? Oh, really? It does?
Well, my my roommate used it, and we had blue stains all over our tub.
Man,
It looked like a
that's
Smurf was murdered.
imagine his skull. It's all blue.
Yeah, probably.
That stuff. It's long lasting. That's why.
It is long lasting. You don't have to wash your hair. You wash it once a month.
But yeah, I'm very. Oh, and condition. I don't really use conditioners. I mean, they're usually built into the shampoo. But yeah, if you want to have a nice shine to your hair, use that. Recommended.
So they're our new sponsor.
Yeah, they're our new sponsors. Oh man. Hey Aki, what are you doing? Nothing, man. Just taking a shower. Hey man, you should try some of this Head and Shoulders.
Oh
Like,
man,
get out
why
of
are
my
you in my
shower.
shower? Yeah. You want to
That's
play Wii U?
you want to play Wii U? I can. Man. It's $350 fucking dollars. We spent all our money on this Head and Shoulders.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this winter, I guess when is Lost World come? I mean, not Lost Worlds, but
So,
Castle of
yeah.
Illusions come out.
Castle Blue. Oh, and the one thing I mentioned, it's coming out, I believe, September 4th.
So in like a couple weeks or a week.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming out really soon.
Uh-oh. And then we have Lost World in a couple months.
Yeah, October 22nd.
And Gamescom, any exciting news you got you liked out of there?
Not really. I mean, the release date for PlayStation 4 was not that exciting. I mean, isn't
We knew it was gonna
Watch
come
Dogs
out.
releasing that day?
Yeah.
And
We knew it was gonna come out on November or October. It wasn't gonna matter.
is Watch Dogs a launch game for the Xbox One?
I think they're up for both.
So they very well could be releasing the same week.
Yeah. I'm assuming if
Unless,
Microsoft was smart, they would try to do it like maybe October because honestly,
yeah.
I mean, they have to make up for the fact that they have bad publicity already.
Yeah, well, you have to. I mean, I
Channels
knew
early.
both of them are wanting to beat Black Friday come out before that.
Of course, they want to sell 1,000 million units.
So, considering that PlayStation 4 is going to be coming up just the week before, then
You think the PS4 is gonna sell out or the Xbox One?
I don't know.
I'm
I
the more I see like all these pre-orders going up online, I'm like, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to make money off of this if I wanted to. I
yeah,
pre-ordered a
I
PS4 and I was like, I'm gonna play with it for 5 seconds and I'm just gonna sell it if I don't like it. But then I'm thinking to myself, man, how about if everybody has one and nobody's selling them? You know?
I have a feeling they're probably going to be in short supply, but I don't think they're going to be sold out.
Oh man. Oh, we'll see. I'll sell it closer to Christmas. I mean, I think by Christmas it'll be sold out.
You'd sell it and buy a Wii U.
That's what I was gonna do. Sell it, and then with the profits, I'll buy the Wii U.
They'll be like, "We'll give you $200 for the PlayStation 4."
Yeah, I can only have to pay $150 out of my pocket.
No, they raised the price of the Wii U.
It's $500,
Yeah, sorry.
and it comes with a camera though,
Yeah,
so that's cool.
yeah,
But
yeah.
The only exciting news that I saw was like I was like finally announced it. Okay, they announced a bunch of pretty good games on the Vita, but then again they announced the same games on the PS4. So you're like, oh, like thanks, I guess.
Hmm.
Like they announced that Rogue Legacy. I always call it something else. I call it Rogue Galaxy, and that's a Sony RPG game. Um, Rogue Legacy, this indie game I was telling you last time we did a podcast. You probably don't remember that I was
Oh, I
playing.
remember.
Okay, they announced it for the PlayStation Vita and the PS4, but they didn't announce it for the Xbox. So now you can't play it, and that pissing me off because I wanted you to play it.
Rogue Legacy?
Yeah,
Hmm.
they announced it Sony exclusive, and I'm like fucking bullshit. They didn't say
Exclusives suck.
Yeah, they didn't say it was going to be exclusive forever. Just they're going to debut it on the Sony's
Is it
console.
going to be on Mac? Oh, it's coming to Mac later.
Yeah, it's coming to Mac soon too. So yeah, you guys you can play it on Mac. But I think you would have probably had a better experience on the Xbox 360.
Yeah, better on Xbox.
I play it with the 360 controller. Like I don't even think the game supports. I don't even think the game supports keyboard and mouse because I never played it with a keyboard and mouse. I always play it with the 360 controller,
Uh-huh.
and it's perfect. So yeah, they need to bring that up. They need to bring that game out on Xbox 360.
Yeah.
But yeah, oh, and they announced Borderlands 2 on the Vita, and it's $200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I still think it's $100 too much, but
It's cheaper than a Wii U.
yeah, it is cheaper than Wii U. But then again, they have about the same amount of games.
But
Oh,
it's on same price as the 3DS unless you get the smaller 3DS, which is what, $30 less.
well, I think the 3DS is the fat one is 200, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, but I've seen it a lot with like $25 gift cards and things like
Yeah, you
that.
get that thing cheap. I think Sony should have done it 150 and then just bit because they don't have that many good games coming out. Honestly, like compared to 3DS or the Wii U, like people make fun of the Wii U, but at least the Wii U has a Sonic game coming out that looks good and a bunch of other games that are looking good, like Mario games. Like you always know there'll be quality games. The Vita so far has been all like PS3 ports,
Hmm.
and they're better on PS3. So you're like, oh fuck, it's a waste of time.
Hmm.
But yeah, and I think that's all we're gonna talk about for today. You know what kind of
Yeah.
shampoo I use, so you go out and buy that. Use
Yeah,
a
and
special code. I wish I had like a special code when people bought shampoo. They just put my code
well,
in.
just when you go to the Herbal Essences website, just enter George at
George said,
checkout, and
yes,
you won't get a discount, but it
but
will
I get 10% of the sales,
you get 10% of the sales. Yeah,
so that's pretty good.
yeah, that's how you afford your shampoo,
Yes, that's how I sell. That's how I get buy it.
pretty much.
So we'll see you guys in 2 weeks for a special 50th episode, and it will actually be Dreamcast related because, well, tell them.
It's it's the near the 14th. I believe it's 14 now, 15th for 2000 for 1998, but 14th for 9999. So yeah, we'll definitely be doing something Dreamcast related. Maybe we'll get a special guest on. Who knows? So until episode number 50, yeah, keep checking the site, and we've got some stuff coming up. So
Stay
that's what I
fresh.
gotta say. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
And we're done.
And then play the music.
Yeah, that's where you play the music. I just got to turn off the recording.